All right. Ugh. Yo ho ho! What's going on, boys? We're here for a first-rate masterpiece, shining darkly, a well-trained body of niggas getting ready to talk about One Punch Man. And yes, I said the N word early, bro, but it's okay, bro. It's okay, bro. It's okay, bro.
Is it?
Because YouTube has blessed us with peace. I think unless we get ranked. But what's going on, boys? Today we're covering One Punch Man chapter 145 on the One Punch Man podcast. The chapter was spectacular, inspiring. I even had to go get my bleed. But these boys have come here to talk about more than that. More than Atomic Samurai's greatness. More than the defeat of Black Sperm. More than the confirmation that Atomic Samurai is not only comparable to Bullfoy and Child Emperor in terms of battle intelligence, but that Flashy Flash is still inferior to Atomic Samurai. Not only the reaffirmation that Atomic Samurai is the strongest sword wielder, but the absolute conclusion that Flashy lost his blade, so Atomic for to knock that bitch out of his hand. Like confirmed, bitch. It's confirmed.
I have nothing to do with anything he just said there. Nothing. I am my own human. Grimm speaks for himself. He does not speak for me. I want that clarified. I did not say any of that.
I don't want to say Grimm's got bias to a certain character
Whoa.
over another certain character. However, I will point out when I saw him post the poll for like who was the star of the chapter, he put Atomic Samurai in all capitals and he put Flashy Flash, not even with a capital F anyway, all lowercase. So there's no like. It's like I'm not saying there's bias. I'm just saying there's maybe something there.
Bias. Nani? Nandato. What do you guys What'd you guys feel when you read 145?
What did I feel? Well, I felt. I mean, I felt good about the chapter. I expected to like not go on with why am I forgetting his name? Fear Ugly. I expected not to go on with that. Like I expected them to cut to a different side of the field. I mean, we got some of Bang and whatnot, so like it was just good to see different characters do their thing. Darkshine, Atomic. So yeah.
I felt proud when our boy Keishin got a cameo in this chapter when Iaian realized what if evil natural water was to absorb the ocean. I felt quite proud of him that way. Yeah, this was just good. I mean, I felt happy because it was just a good chapter of One Punch Man. Everyone was going around doing what they were supposed to do. I feel like almost everyone had a moment in this chapter, both heroes and villains, and I was happy about that. So, yeah, good action.
Yeah, chapter was good. I enjoyed it. I like the fact that we got to see more of Darkshine. Doing Darkshine things. He's got his confidence back, which I'm happy about. And I don't know. I mean, does this chapter give myself and Matt the right to now say the N-word one time in our lives?
Whoa! What?
they get a token for this.
What?
What is going on here, bro? What is?
I don't know where that came from. I didn't speak to him about this or anything.
I think Steve-O may have like possessed Sundown for a little bit because that is definitely a Steve-O like thing to say.
It's gotta be, bro.
Do you have like a voice filter on Steve that makes you sound like Sundown?
Damn, you found me out.
Man, Steve-O's doing it right now. That'd be perfect.
Oh shit! If it was Steve, he'd have been like, hey, "What's up, baby?"
Oh yeah, in a smooth voice.
Oh shit! All right, well, Steve does decide to arrive. We'll get his thoughts on this next question. Who is the star of the chapter to you?
Start a chapter. Oh, I mean, it has to be. It has to be Darkshine for me. It has to be Darkshine for me. Just because he took on a challenge that at least from what we saw in the chapter, like even at your water, they had like no real counter to him because Atomic tried to do his thing. Iaian was about to die, so they didn't really have any way to like defend against them. And Darkshine showed up. Atomic did his thing as well, but I think at the very least they can somewhat deal with Black Sperm, but they didn't have anything for even natural water, at least in that moment.
Just to be different, I'll go for Black Sperm then, because to me, like in this chapter, you've really showed why he's a threat. He's a one-man army. Like this whole chapter, he's fighting Bang, Genos, Atomic, Tatsumaki, Darkshine, and he's taking them all on like at different points. And he's not necessarily winning against them all, but he's going against all of them at the same time. We see like I think the scariest bit of his power to me is when he makes the can line, and then like he makes his legs massive, so he can still like each one of them can shapeshift in that same way. And I think Darkshine is incredible in this chapter as well. I would give him that, but I just think it really shows why this guy's a cadre is the fact that this guy is, even when like he's getting beaten down, he's consistent. He's kind of like a zombie horde in the sense of like you just can't beat it eventually it will weigh you down.
That's a very good point about Black Sperm. I hadn't thought of it like that, but he does actually go against most of the S-Class guys in this chapter. I think every S-Class chapter every S-Class hero we see in this chapter he's against, right? Yeah, actually that's a very good point. But for me, I think, yeah, just Darkshine, he took the chapter for me. My favorite moment, I think, was a little bit different. It might have been the Bang Atomic Samurai kind of back-to-back special move kind of thing. But yeah, Darkshine in general, I think he had the chapter. His confidence coming back and him performing as he did was just, yeah, I just enjoyed that.
Yeah, I definitely noted Darkshine's like arisal. The fact that he did seem much more intense in the scenario, like his confidence was back, his swagger was back. But I do want to thank Matt for highlighting that point. Just yesterday or the day before that, in the tier list that we did for the channel, we sat there and had a discussion as to how some individuals in the community still downplay the fact that fighting multiple S classes is an indomitable feat. And it's not just in the One Punch community, but in general, characters who have like regeneration or that like have abilities that allows you to like assault them, or that your powers really are becoming effective against them. They downplay your ability to deal with that, your defensive capability. But it's important to realize that not only Darkshine, but Bang and Tatsumaki and Atomic Samurai and who else?
Genos?
And Genos. I think that's about it. It's like 4 or 5 S class. Like Goketsu was predicted to do that. We obviously could assume that he probably could have taken on multiple S class, not to the extent that Genos was talking about. That's completely ridiculous. But now we're seeing that. And granted, let's not avoid or forget the caveats in the scenario. We know that Tatsumaki is completely exhausted. Fear Ugly just did the same thing in the previous chapter. Genos is also pretty depleted. Bang is trying to protect Genos, or Genos is trying to protect Bang while they get rid of these, or try to get these hostages out of here, like, or these innocent people out of here. I'm not saying that Black Sperm is the strongest cadre, but whenever Elder Centipede showed up and Genos, Bang, and Bomb were not enough, we were talking about him being the strongest cadre. Whenever we saw what it took to put Rover down, and then he got right back up, we saw what it took to be the strongest cadre. So, I guess rolling into the next question before we start going into the chapter. Who's the strongest cadre?
Strongest cadre.
I think that's. Sorry, I was
Go ahead, Matt.
it was just quickly. I don't really know, but I think that's kind of what's so good about these villains. Like, I mean, you compared to like a lot of other villain groups, is there's like a clear hierarchy. Like, you know who the first strongest, you know who the second strongest, is third strongest, etc., etc. But what I think the cadres do really well is there's kind of it's not necessarily a clear answer who the strongest one is. Because like it's like you said, like the moment we met Goketsu, we're like, this guy's crazy strong. The moment we met Alpha Centipede, this guy's crazy strong. Rover, and even now with like after we saw everything Homeless Emperor's done, we're still questioning, is he stronger than Black Sperm? I think that's just a real strength of the story where we as the viewers aren't like, as the readers, we're not like, oh, well, it's very clearly this person who's the strongest. Apart from like when Orochi and Psyche Rochi were around, we knew they were the strongest, but now we're at a really good moment where we're like, it could be any of them.
See how I'll answer the question, but I'll say something else. So I think it's probably Black Sperm. That's how it's looking, just because what we're doing against Black Sperm isn't like even beating him. We're pretty much just fending against him. And so far we still don't have a method to really defeat Black Sperm. Like we've just been pretty much just biding our time with him. So with everybody else, we at least have like an idea of how we beat him. Even with Homeless Emperor, as all the power he showed, we know he has a human body. So if he were to get someone were to sneak behind him or something like that, we know we can beat him like that, or at least that's what it's is looking like with Black Sperm's comment on him. But with Black Sperm, we still don't have an effective method to like kill him. So, but I think I don't know, a question I would prefer is like, who would the S-class heroes not want to deal with the most? Like, I think that's an interesting question, rather who's the strongest, because I always say like matchups are very important. With like a character can look stronger in a certain chapter depending on who they're fighting, but that's why I say Black Sperm is probably the strongest, because he's dealing with multiple S-class heroes who all have different techniques. It's not like he's just dealing with people who are fighting hand-to-hand combat. He's dealing with swordsmen. He's dealing with people like Genos who can, blast them, and he's still doing pretty great. So pretty versatile.
Yeah, I think I agree with Satsuki in the sense of, I think Black Sperm is going to show us something more than what we've seen so far, and I'm looking forward to that. I feel like out of all the executives or cadres, he's been kind of the most trolly, and because of that I got this belief that he's going to have some sort of insane, like something else to show. Maybe he's just been showing us a tenth of his power or something like that, and he's actually much more powerful than he is. So I think he's going to turn out to be the most powerful. But the thing with the executives that we've seen so far, I feel their threat level and who is the strongest is really dependent on what you're trying to get out of them. So for instance, it's situational. So Elder Centipede, if you're looking for city level destruction, I would always go for Elder Centipede. That's the executive that fits that bill. And if you're looking for like a dragon level and above, danger level or threat level, you got to go for Elder Centipede. But if you're going for something like someone to dominate other people, then maybe go Kets. If you're going for someone to just instill fear in people, maybe Fear or Ugly. Do you kind of see where I'm going here? It feels very situational for me. But yeah, I think I agree with Satsuki in the sense that overall I'm thinking maybe it might turn out to be Black Sperm.
All right. Well, this is the beginning of the fight, so it's good to get our thoughts after it's just begun to unravel, to see how we're going to develop and how it's going to change over time. Because right now, or at least I remember not too long ago, I was thinking or speculating that the number of heroes versus the number of monsters that we have is uneven. So either somebody's going to have to be sucking, or somebody's going to have to be like putting in that work. And it looks like we're getting the signs of what it's gonna be. But let's begin the chapter. Remember, guys, to like the video, subscribe, and comment below your opinions on the topics that we discuss, so that others can give their opinions on what you think as well. Let's get it popping. First-rate masterpiece, shining darkly. A well-trained body is the strongest and the toughest. 145 Super Alloy Darkshine. But that cover page was ballin', bruh. Like, oh. Darkshine's design, best design change over time, or
over time? No, I can't give him that. Well, you had to show me like early One Punch Man art, because I kind of like eased in with the anime. Well, okay, no, because Darkshine did look a lot different before. I don't know. I might have to give it a Tatsumaki. I might. Like her face didn't change, but her body definitely did. Like Murata was like, I'm not feeling this lolly stuff.
He's like, you're trying to hit.
I mean, are we talking just general design? Because I think Garou should be thrown in there. Because like how he started to how he is now.
True.
Yeah, my girl cock diesel now, bro. He's big strong, bro.
What about Phoenix Man Boys?
Yes, the Phoenix chick. I changed my answer.
I mean, come on, Matt. I thought that's the guy. You would have gone for the penguin guy straight away, man.
Absolutely, I would have. I forgot. I lost my way. Then the Phoenix Resurrection light found me.
Yo, what is that, boy, bro? Murata needs to remember this is a saying, bro. Not this, bro. Come on, dog.
Exactly. It's not a shoulder. Don't necessarily give him the cool power up. Give him the best power up. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's get to I think this is actually going to be a strong point of contention early, because it was spoken about or discussed in Discord more often than not. So, Evil Natural Water. He's going to be defining the comparison between Iaian, Atomic Samurai, and Darkshine. So, I want to state the ideas so I don't forget them, so that you guys like know what the general conversation should run into as we go along. So first, Iaian's reevaluation of his S-class status. Of the individuals who are now prominent or who are coming to the stage, have now been introduced to Spring Mustachio coming to the battlefield, me cheating as a prospect of possibly being S-class or strong in this category. The other two swordsmen as well. That's really about it. Is he ready, or what is his status now that his blade is broken, but he's blocking dragon scale attacks again? Then we have the Atomic Samurai Darkshine comparison, as to which one could deal with the issue in the manner in which he did and how the other did. But initially, this is what I want to start off at. Evil Natural Water. Character analysis. What's up, Doc? What do you think?
He has a character?
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's his arc? I must have missed that.
What you mean was his arc, bro? He almost got frozen, killed when he got stuck, bro. He was stuck in a fucking jar, bro. He got experimented by his mother, some hateful witch who stuck him in a jar and put him in a room and locked it and sealed it. Then it got popped open. It got popped open and shit. Now this is his journey to freedom, bro. But listen. This is literally what happened, bro. It's just Even Natural Water's journey to freedom. He's, bro, literally in eyesight of the ocean. Literally the entire span of the world. What is it? 2/3 of the earth covered by water. The other third is covered by me, bro. Even Natural Water, if he gets out to the ocean,
Yeah, on Sanders.
you already know, bro. Ed Reed, be out there, But Even Natural Water, if he gets out there, bro, into the ocean, he's there to freedom. He will finally be free. But now, as a coalition of evil demons with capes and armor and shiny skin and large breasts and gray hair, trying to capture him and kill him, like, that's his character arc. That's his arc, man.
Oh. I didn't know that. This is news to me. While I can't go be like that analytical with this character, like for me, even Natural Water is like Kid Buu. He's just like an entity of destruction. And I think that's why they kept him locked up. Like I can't speak on his character because he doesn't have any lines. He doesn't, he's just there destroying shit. But like I said, he's just like a ball of chaos. And I think that's why he was locked up because, thinking about his powers, it would make sense if he could be controlled that Gyoro or Cycles would put him in an ocean where he would be the strongest. But they didn't do that. So obviously it's because you can't control this dude. So, I mean, I don't got anything for his character, but I think that just goes to show you like how he how we were introduced to him being locked up in that safe. He's just something that could potentially like destroy the world, possibly. We saw that flash that Iaian had where even Natural Water is like over the earth and shit. So he's just a monster you don't want to lose control of. You want to keep him on a short leash.
Matt?
I mean, I'm still kind of processing what you said, man. I don't know. I mean, like, as a character, I think the main thing is definitely, if anything, that the Monster Association want to take over the world. But they purposely lock this guy up. Is a big thing for it. I don't know that whole stuff about his mom, but considering he's like evil natural water, so he's just naturally evil, I guess. But then he'd be natural evil water. And then, yeah, I mean, I don't really have a lot to say about him. He's a force of nature more than anything. He's just like, he doesn't attack. He's not really on the Monster Association side. I don't know how they captured him. Probably a Rochi, if anything. Which means there are ways to actually counter him because they obviously caught him and stopped him. But the fact that they would locked him up and we've seen he doesn't just necessarily go after the heroes, he goes after monsters as well. He's like, that's why I call him a force of nature, because he just goes after everyone. Doesn't matter what. It's just all fair game to him. But yeah, sure. That's it for him.
Yeah, I think I agree with the guys. There's not much I can say on his character. I mean, besides the crazy eyes, there's really not much emotion or character development that I've seen. Yeah, those crazy eyes, look at them. But yeah, Matt mentioned there that, how is he actually captured? That's something I'd like to see. How do they actually capture him and put him in that box? That'd be interesting. Was it that snowman monster or something that froze him and they just kind of let him settle at room temperature? God knows. But I'm not sure. The only other thing I'm kind of, because Iaian is concerned that evil natural water will turn around and see all that water, and I'm just kind of concerned that maybe evil natural water's seen that the ocean outside or the sea outside, and hasn't established that they can either take control of the water, or maybe they can't actually do that. So either they're unintelligent, or they simply can't do that, or the kind of idea is he hasn't seen the water yet. So I'm not sure which one of those it is, but I'm starting to think that maybe evil natural water is a bit of an idiot.
Yeah, considering it's water, I don't imagine his IQ being the highest. Especially if he doesn't even have like real eyes. He's probably just like a cell more than anything. He just exists.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of hoping it might turn out to be, because like we've already seen between the executives, especially Black Sperm, the concept of wanting to stab each other in the back while they're fighting. So maybe because evil natural water seems to not have, so far as we've seen, any of these like any camaraderie with the other executives. I mean, he was locked up, for God's sake. Maybe it's going to be a thing of if they do meet on the battlefield, they'll get involved in the crossfire between evil natural water and the other executives. So he might even kill another executive, for all we know.
Yeah, I was thinking that when you guys first started mentioning that his indiscriminate attacks could actually go against another cadre, but and especially with the whole like theme of survival of the fittest that was going on in the beginning, you can definitely see that happening, or even a probable a result of combat around even natural water. But I definitely do agree that it's more so that he hasn't noticed the ocean behind him, because with the context we're getting here on the following pages, like 4 and 5, it definitely does seem like Iaian is confirming that even after water to get to a water source, because his jets are getting stronger as it goes along, which is probably why his blade keeps breaking the more that he's combating it. Because it seems like there's been more than, it's not just one jet or 3 jets that like were sent at him. It looks like there's been multiple of those the entire time. Because even the Atomic Samurai is exhausted, they've probably been deflecting a bunch of them. So it's not like
you reckon there's a discrepancy here where if it's absorbing underground water or water in the pipes, would that be kind of filtered or fresh water as opposed to like salt water?
Oh, so you think the type of water has to matter as well?
Maybe that's a very bold assumption, but could be the case.
You would hope that would actually be a clever way to actually nerf the character, or give the character like weaknesses that like he can only absorb a certain type of water, or he's a being made of this type of water, so he can only absorb that type. That would make sense. That would be suitable and wouldn't be like a cheap weakness like I don't know. There's plenty of cheap weaknesses, but I think that would be fitting. But this guy's eyeballs are even made of liquid, so that's what I'm saying. Like, he's becoming a little bit even more interesting, stronger. I don't know, man. Like,
I mean, here's just a quick quote I was thinking about, like, because possible weaknesses, like, if he, like, because we know he shoots out water jets, like, say he doesn't have access to water source, if he shoots water jets, does he start to, like, shrink down? And then is there less of him at that point?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say next, because if the exact source of water is because you mentioned pipes, and I think somebody else said pipes before too. That's why I'm like, why are you guys saying pipes? If that's the case, then maybe that's how they actually captured him. He was small enough to be put into that container or whatever. Like, if you really think about it, even after water was walked out of the facility, like Iaian in the support team, and the ninjas, or excuse me, and the other swordsmen, Okamatachi and Bushido, like, they were almost leading him out of there. Like, they were running behind little cliffs or whatever. They were even behind a corner for a second talking before even natural water attacked. So, like, it wouldn't be crazy to once again lead him into a container once his water supply started to deplete, and the more jets or the more water that he's throwing out, the smaller he's becoming, as you're predicting. You just put him in a cage, lure him into a cage, and then seal the cage, and then find a way out of the cage. And that's probably how it happened. But just as bold as the assumption that the type of water matters, I think it's bold to assume that him expelling water means that his overall volume would deplete. That makes complete sense, and that's how it would actually work. But do you think he'll go that route?
I have no clue.
I don't think it will, just where we are, because they've set up like he's got access to underground, so that can be a case of like they can just use that for as long as they want to in the story of just being like, okay, we can just keep using underground water, especially if they want to tap into the ocean stuff. They are relatively close to the ocean at least. So no, I don't think it'll go down that road. I think that would have been a cool way, and if it was a different location, that's how they could have done it. But yeah.
Actually, just a quick point. I think we can dismiss the salt water thing, because didn't evil natural water absorb that monster's blood?
Think so.
He also absorbed oil, didn't he? Because that stopped him from getting frozen.
Yep.
Yeah, yes. If you can do oil, and if you can do blood, which has salts in it, I doubt ocean water or salt water would be.
There you go. This nigga said he wasn't interesting. This nigga's badass, bro. He literally, to stop himself from getting frozen, he absorbed oil. And who said he's dumb? Somebody said he was dumb earlier too.
I don't know who you're talking about,
Yeah,
man.
yo, that's the second time we're sundown super wrong. Oh shit, that was Hikey the smartest thing a monster's done. Hikey. I can't think of any other thing. I mean, besides Garou, Garou's done some pretty smart things in combat. Yeah.
Smartest thing to do in combat is not to fuck with Saitama and Tatsumaki. Get away from them. If you do that, you smart as hell.
Rover's the smartest monster. Then there we go. He
might be.
He looked at Saitama again. And Saitama gave him a stare. And he was like,
Oh no! What about
Right.
Iaian? What about him?
Oh, yeah.
"That's true." The animals.
He took a swipe at Saitama, seen it didn't work, he said, "Alright, I'm going."
It wasn't just that. He was like, "I'm done with the association. Good luck, guys. Best of you. I'm out of here."
Oh,
Nah, see, my idiot claim was only if he'd actually seen the water. If Evil Natural Water hasn't seen the water, then we cool, we good.
all right. So, going along that aspect, Iaian. Well, before we move on to Iaian, are you guys? How do you feel about Evil Natural Water's attack power? Like, impressive, kind of, whatever ish. Like as a threat, Evil Natural Water. Like overall, not even just his attack power. Overall, is this guy like as dangerous as most dragons that we've encountered? Would you say that he's like would fight any cadre for a long time? Like, what is your opinion of Evil Natural Water right now in terms of like the threat? I know we addressed the whole taking over the world, but like I mean, outside of that,
Yeah. Well, yeah, his threat is like his potential, because just absorbing liquids is Earth 70% water, so it's like he has a lot of potential just to grow, and that in itself is a threat. But like his attack power is not like the most impressive thing we've seen from the cadres. Like Homeless Emperor, his attack power, if you get caught by that, you're most likely not coming out of that thing alive. With Evil Natural Water, they're like trying to like parry it, they're dodging it. It's just the fact that they don't have a way to deal with him himself. So it's more so like the inability to kill him and to cut water in the case of Iaian and Atomic Samurai. That's where the threat lies, not really his attack power, but it's still good.
so you saying Evil Natural Water pussy?
In comparison to someone like Homeless Emperor, yeah.
Damn.
Attack wise.
Yeah, I'd agree because I mean, just like even his attack's good. We see obviously it can pierce steel and it's strong against most people, but like against the real fighters for the heroes, the S class, like he hasn't really done anything to them yet. I mean, Atomic Samurai is like a bit out of breath, but he seems okay. He's just trying to think of a way out of it. And then of course Darkshine just takes all the attacks, no problem. Like Bang would probably do fine against him as well because of Water Flow and Rock Crushing Fist. I think most of them would be pretty okay. I mean, maybe not tank top, but but yeah, it's just like he's, as Sasuke said, it's his potential. Like if he kept growing, and obviously any liquid can be absorbed pretty much, that's what's scary about him.
Yeah, so I share the same opinion as both the lads. I mean, the only thing that I'm considering is if the water jets are getting stronger and stronger, and Iaian's assuming that more and more water is being absorbed, how large does Evil Natural Water need to get before it poses a threat to someone like Atomic Samurai? I mean, if these water jets aren't getting through, and it already looks about probably be about 2-3 times the height of Atomic Samurai there, I mean, it would need to get pretty large for it to start being a threat. So I'm starting to wonder, besides just being like just reforming and possibly drowning individuals, and against people like, for instance, Genos and people who have enough power to either kick themselves out of the water or swim fast enough to get out. Besides drowning people, what will Evil Natural Water do besides shooting kind of these half-assed jets of water that really aren't a threat unless you can't guard against them? And I think the majority of people at the moment, the S-Class there will... I can't name any of the S-Class that are active at the moment that would get hit unless they got hit blindsided or something like that. But yeah, I don't think it even after was too much of a threat besides the globe encapsulation.
Well, I think that's where the question of his IQ comes back into it, because like if it's just water jet, eventually we're not like there's nothing there that makes us go, uh-oh, this is a problem now. I think obviously the size would be the main thing, but like it depends what else, like whirlpools or like tidal waves, things like that. If he got more creative with obviously his abilities, but once again, it's to do with the whole how actually clever is this as this monster.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna go. I'm gonna ride with Matt on that one. That the cleverness is what I'm championing for his significance, because from what I'm gathering, you guys are telling me that before this chapter, we learned that like it's a possibility for him to absorb water and become like bigger and potentially take over the world. That he wasn't that impressive to you guys, and to me, even natural water was always a threat because of, and you guys had agreed to it, and you guys already acknowledged it already that his main threat is his defense and how to kill him. But like, that's just as crazy as the other monster we were just finished talking about, Black Sperm. Like, I don't know. To me, the only saving grace is Child Emperor, because he really almost did that thing to even natural water. Apparently, he literally had to absorb that oil to defend himself against Child Emperor. So maybe, all right, I'm gonna say this. I'm not hyping. I'm being unbiased when I say this. That's a feat for Atomic. The individual who previously pushed even natural water to the brink of almost losing was Child Emperor quickly without Brave Giant. Like, he literally had to get oil in order to not freeze. So I'm assuming that freezing would have been really bad for natural water. Now, the only other person that's like evaluating or getting close to that is Atomic Samurai.
I mean, apart from Darkshine, who actually just, smacked him.
Hey, listen, bro, we know what's gonna happen. We know what's gonna happen next, bro. We know what's gonna happen next. He's gonna reassemble even bigger, like nothing happened.
But the shine will get stronger. The shine will get brighter. And it'll be the same thing.
All right, maybe that was a bad way to hype up Atomic, but look, all I'm saying is
I'm not trying to take things away from Atomic just because of it. I'm just pointing out Darkshine also, actually smacked this monster and just separated him. Like, it was like the same kind of thing that happened to Bug God.
I know it was a little parallel, but it's the same thing as the first panel in the chapter. Like, look at the basically Atomic slash that's done to even natural water. Like, are we gonna pretend like that's not also a lethal attack, like a Darkshine punch or a bazooka or whatever like that? Like, that's a
no. I'm not saying that at all, because I mean, you look at Atomic. I don't know if Atomic Sword's made out of anything special, but that's the difference in skill between him and an Iaian. Like, Atomic Sword's absolutely fine. That's a feat more than anything. Like this, we know this guy can pierce through steel, and Atomic Sword looks just as fine as always.
all I'm saying, because that's big facts. All I'm saying is that I know for a fact Darkshine did nothing to even natural water. He's gonna come right back up. It's like punching Black Sperm or cutting Black Sperm. Like, you can hype up the fact that he cut Black Sperm, but like all you did was just make another one. You have the fact that you like popped even natural water, but what if there's gonna be two even natural waters now? Like, I hope that happens. I hope there's two puddles now. Each the
Actually,
eyeball.
that's something we've not seen right at the moment. Is it? We've only seen one evil natural water. We've not seen any split. Do you reckon that's something that might happen? I personally think evil natural water can only exist in like one form. It can't split into two like Black Sperm, but I'm not sure what you guys think.
Yeah, I think it's probably that.
I think so as well, just because the power would be too similar to Black Sperm, I think it'll push because there's two eyes, maybe they could separate into two, but I don't need like hundreds of mini evil natural waters or anything.
Hundreds of Black Sperm is enough.
Well,
you got it.
yes.
You got it. So like, okay, evil natural water is alive. So who deals with them? Who puts the nail in the coffin?
I mean, I think it's like you said, Saz. I think it's similar to Blacks, but we don't really have a set like way to beat him. I mean, we know Freezergim can work, but no one's got like any like cryo powers or anything. We don't know what like heating him up would do. I think if evaporating him would genuinely get rid of the water, and he wouldn't turn into steam or anything. But Genos doesn't really have that kind of firepower at the moment. I don't know.
What do you reckon? See, I get the feeling, even though I would feel a little bit disappointed by this, and by a little bit I mean quite a bit. But if Blast took care of Evil Natural Water and just teleported it to the Arctic or something like that, instant freeze, then that would kind of solve the issue, or maybe even into space if Blast can even do that. That would also take care of Evil Natural Water pretty easily.
We also do have a One Punch Man on the way, so it could be like if they've hyped up the idea of going into the ocean, he starts to go, and then Saitama just like hits him, and that's it.
But my problem with Saitama possibly doing that is what's the difference between, obviously there's strength in it, but with like if he's doing the same thing that Darkshine is doing, like how would that be explained away? Because not like Saitama's fist is just like it it evaporates you from existence.
Yep. No, that's
See, but that would be cool as well. Because what happens if someone like Evil Natural Water is evaporated? They're technically still alive because all they'd need to do is condense, right?
But God, that's like a future arc. He returns, like it starts raining in the city, and he slowly starts forming.
Oh no,
that'd be sick.
That'd be crazy.
That'd be crazy good. I'm trying to think. I mean, it's possible just because when he serious punched Boros' attack, like he split energy in half with just the force of his punch.
This is always a fallacy, or not a fallacy. I don't know what literary term to give it, but it's the problem that we always have. It's a story breaker. It's Saitama's plot armor. The fact that certain individuals will have a thing that doesn't work for them, but Saitama just overwhelms it with brute force. Like, I think it's safe to say that so far, there's nothing that can be beaten with like extreme brute force. And when I say extreme brute force, I don't mean like somebody who can like destroy a city or destroy a group of cities. I'm talking about somebody who can literally with a single punch clear the entire surface of the planet. Like that type of extreme force. It seems like if you can't do some shit like that, or if you can't do some shit like that, you can pretty much beat anything. That's what it seems like. I'm not saying that if you're less strong than that, I'm not saying that if you're Orochi's strength, that like anything you do will just beat everything else. I'm saying that if you're Saitama's strength, or Boro's strength, probably, sure, that's it seems to be implying that.
Okay.
Do you disagree, Matt? No, I was just thinking about like who else could. The only person I think of is like that could be like Garou's big entrance back into the story. Is if an Evil Natural Water starts powering up, getting stronger, no one can really do anything to him. Then Garou bursts out from underground and just tears him apart.
What does that thing to that nigga, my boy?
Exactly. Especially because he's got the water flowing, rock crushing fist. You have like the big power to boost him up too. So that could be like his big entrance. Is he just like easily takes down the cadre?
Oh shit!
That's another thing too. Someone has to job against Garou for him to reestablish his strength in the series again. Like we seen multiple. We seen Tank Top play this role, even though that was less of a job. We seen Darkshine play this role. So like, if he were to like resurface and whatnot, like who do you think will play that role too?
See,
would it be a monster or a hero?
To answer,
yeah, I think it'd be an executive. What do you think?
I'm not sure. I feel like it would be just because even we have more heroes, but I feel like it's the strength right now is in favor of the monster. So I feel like Garou will have to go against the monsters just to even things out for the heroes a little.
Yeah, I think it's got to be like whoever has like the biggest winning streak out of like the heroes or the monsters. I want to say the monsters because there's less of them, so they should be stronger. Whoever is like on the biggest winning streak, Garou should then show up and just demolish them. That's how it will go.
I 100% agree with that. That 100%. If I was gonna say that I don't agree that it has to happen. I think like I think that the previous fight, him establishing himself up against Darkshine, would be enough. But the fact that we don't know what it means to be able to do that to Darkshine would be to where like what you're saying would actually end up being the case. But if it had to be to where like he's gonna come back and just I've never used that word before, do that thing to body, clap the cheeks of.
Okay.
Yes, then I would preferably have it be the individual who's at the top, and that preferably actually heroes, not the monsters. Because like I said, Duki's right. The monsters do clearly have the upper hand right now, but two factors. I think the heroes have more that they're gonna pull out right now because we have Atomic, Darkshine, and technically Bang. Usually like the top three that we have that are like the assault force, like them together right now, and I guess Genos too, but them together right now are like the main force that the heroes have. So Atomic hasn't cut loose yet, Darkshine hasn't cut loose yet, and Bang hasn't cut loose yet. We haven't seen big name attacks from them in a one-on-one aspect since we got to the surface yet. So that's what I'm waiting for. That's the part where I'm like, okay, this is getting started, this is the climax, and they're about to put in work. But if they do that, and then Garou comes up, and then the bodies bangs. That's two birds with one stone.
I'm not saying it because he's your character, Grimm. It sounds bad, but like only because he's had clashes with Genos, he's had clashes with Bang, he's had clashes with Darkshine. He hasn't actually clashed with Atomic. That's the only reason I say that. That's it, because I don't think it will. Personally, it makes more sense to me for like it to be a monster if there's like this big threat, and then the even bigger threat shows up out of nowhere and just demolishes them. But I think if he had to attack someone, it would be Atomic in that sense.
Just because he's the only one that he hasn't fought?
Mostly because it's just about like the variety of opponents. Garou has had like a load of variety, like in like all the different kinds of opponents. So the only two really he hasn't had a proper fight against is like Master Sword. So it either have to be Atomic. I think he's still got to fight Flashy because like he still hasn't fought against an opponent who's crazy fast like that. You know, I think there's going to be a fight against Flashy for
Listen,
Garou.
Matt. This is the.
But okay, go for it.
This is the. I'm not being serious, not trolling. This is the problem. I feel heavily that the context of that moment would be as Sasuke described it. Jobbing. Like, once again, I don't know what the fuck that means. But doing that thing to and well. And like, if that's gonna be the case, I don't think it's gonna be there's too many heroes around and the situation is I don't think it's gonna be like a Darkshine type scenario. It's gonna be like a like Rhino wrestler type shit.
Exactly. That's why I don't want it to happen to a hero. I want it to happen to a monster because the hero is probably going to live and will have to live with that for the rest of the story. Yeah. Whereas the monster will just go away, and then we could be like, well, you know, they were good, but they weren't going to fight against Garou because it's Garou.
I agree with that. Like the only reason why I'm more scared of it going the other way though is because at the end of the day, this is all to hype up to it's like gathering plutonium, bro. Just a whole big stock pile of plutonium, bro. Motherfuckers come with helicopters and ships and carriers, submarines full of plutonium, bro. Put them in one pile, and they're finna come to make that bit react. And it just, bam, the first atom breaks or splits, and bam, it goes off, man. Like, or uranium, not plutonium. Look, bro, I'm not a nuclear physicist. All I'm saying is that it's an analogy for setting up the nuclear bomb that is caped, dirty, disgusting, bald fuck, ruining storylines, disgusting gloved yellow suit wearing janitor. Like, this piece of shit. It's for him. It's for him.
You better not be talking about a boy like that.
Bruh, I know that all One and Murata want to do is they're going to have Garou come in and body these heroes, deplete their chances even more, make it even more perilous, so that when Caped Fuck comes in, oh, it'll be glorious. It'll be glorious. I wouldn't even be surprised if Phoenix Man comes before that and resurrects Orochi or some shit like that. Like, I would not be surprised, bro.
Only if he came back in his penguin form.
I wouldn't even be
Yes.
surprised. Hold on, fuck that.
That's how they'll beat the even natural water.
Bro.
Oh my god!
Oh my god.
The storm, the Arctic storm with the penguin.
Nah, bro. Even natural penguin, bro. That's what it'll be. He'll jump inside of him.
Hey, we're not reading that type of manga.
Wow.
But yeah, I think when Garou comes up, I was kind of on the flip side, where I thought if he took on a hero, he'd probably clap, because Puri's still there. So I thought Puri would get the clappage. And
Again,
if
bro?
it was he's already been with Puri, right?
Yeah, y'all love beating Pooty's cheeks.
Who hasn't, out of the heroes, fought Garou? Atomic and Flashy.
Yeah.
Tatsumaki.
Yes, Tatsumaki. I just feel like that'd be an empty
Bullfoy.
victory for Garou. Who was that?
Well,
Sorry.
actually,
A My Mask. Bullfoy, A My Mask. Tatsumaki. Atomic Samurai. Flashy Flash. Pig God.
which half of a My Mask?
Because Beaufoy ain't showing up. Drive Knight's not going to come back. He's not like, oh, look at him.
Yeah, he gone.
I mean, he could if the Swordsman Council do all right. That could be his entrance too.
Oh my. Oh, that's what they're for. Nah, that'll be.
They're
I
just
mean,
there just to get wrecked.
that'll be a weird way though, because we don't really know their power though. It'll be a weird. way
Yeah,
to scare
no,
them.
I think that would be.
What if he just rolled up on Bomb?
That could be good.
Oh,
He's
Wow.
had a tiny fight with Bomb, but like that wouldn't be too bad.
Low key, that would actually do it. That would actually, because I was thinking right now, if Garou shows up, not only is it almost pivotal or probably prominent of what Suzuki suggested that he's gonna have to fight somebody, probably the highest of the hierarchy, like Matt mentioned, but we're probably also gonna have to have some type of emotional connection with Bang. That's gonna have to flourish here because this is probably gonna be the final chance we get. Once he's out here in front of all these heroes, it's not gonna be like last time in front of Genos. There's some thugs out here, bro. Atomic Samurai killed his best friend. Darkshine don't care, bro. Flash kills niggas for fun, bro. Like when it comes to some of these other heroes out here, they will really kill Garou if they get a chance to. So I think this is Bang's last chance to like pacify Garou if that is gonna be the outcome. If that isn't gonna be the outcome, then boy, is he gonna do that thing to somebody, and if he does it to Bomb, what better way to rouse the anger of the Silver Fang than to beat his old brother?
Because I think Bomb's with Fubuki as well. Is he? I think so. Yeah.
That would be if he attacked Fubuki as well to get a rage Tatsumaki attack on him as well.
Oof. Oh my gosh.
And just quickly, because I kind of zoned out a moment because you said Atomic's best friend was the guy from the council?
Yeah.
The one he killed?
Not his best. Well, his friend. Haragiri, yeah. That was his boy. He said it.
Okay.
He was in the meeting, I think it was 93, chapter 93. And he was talking to Puri. He was like, oh, it's hard to do this. And then Atomic Samurai was like, yeah, I just killed my friend. I think he said best friend. I have to reread it. But yeah, he just killed his friend.
That's just okay.
And they,
Sure.
They're cold blooded, bro. I told you.
I don't
bro.
remember reading that, but okay.
Yeah, that's my nigga.
But yeah, I was hoping if it was a monster though, he would come back and kill Gums, because I get the feeling Gums is gonna reform again after Fury Ugly just ripped through him. So what better entrance to make than to completely destroy something that keeps reforming?
Say that again?
Gums?
Yeah.
I reckon Garou's gonna smack Gums, because from what we've seen, Gums keeps reforming. So I was thinking if Garou came back and completely destroyed a monster that keeps reforming, that would be a pretty dope entrance.
It's crazy how in one chapter, like, I completely forgot about them. Like, that's it's either I have a horrible memory or that's how it's like That's how great this presentation was. Like every single time we see a different monster, they're as big as a threat as any of them, and they're interesting too.
I know we need to keep moving with the chapter, but just because this popped up, because obviously there's been like there's like clear comparisons between Garou and Bang. Like we see this like in terms of how they take form and stuff, and we know how like Garou, like how Bang just like beat up Fura Ugly. That could be another really good entrance. When he shows up, he beats like vomited Fura Ugly the exact same way that Bang beat him, like panel for panel, like exactly.
I want Sweet Mass to come back into this fight because we all believe that he's dead, and it would be great for his character to especially beat vomited Fura Ugly.
Mm-hmm.
That would be
you know what would be even better for his character? A nice funeral.
He's not dead, Grimm.
Listen,
I don't like Sweet. We've gone through this many times. We know how I feel about Sweet Mass, but I want the character to be better. Like I don't want to keep hating on him. So if there was anything, just for his character, if there's anything to like make me have a high opinion on him, it's to get over your weakness. Now he probably would. If we think he's a monster, he'd probably be like in a different type of mind state. So like maybe we can't really count that for his character since he's in a different mindset. But either way, I think it would just be great for him to beat Fura Ugly, especially considering how gross he is now.
Yeah, I fully agree. I think definitely if he comes back, he's coming back with a character change. Like this isn't like, it's like the whole Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde thing is going on. We've seen the nice side of him a lot, even like, and obviously the very big hints to the dark side. We just need to see like a full on like dark moment for him where he's just brutal.
Iaian. Has he earned S-Class yet to you?
Oh, I mean, he is still alive. That's more than I can say.
Yeah. He's still hanging in there, so I'll give him that just because he's hanging in there. Because like everybody who's in this fight right now is like S-Class level. Like, if being able to fight still, that's impressive. And one thing about Iaian that's also impressive is the fact that he's doing this shit with one arm. Like I don't know why he doesn't try to get another arm because I'm pretty sure that's capable in the Hero Association. But I'm pretty sure that that's a glaring weakness. So
he's stronger with one.
that'd be so stupid. I'm just stronger with one arm. Like, what?
It's the weight of Clover Trouble with his arm. Just he gets his arm off. I'm faster than ever now.
But yeah, if he like, there's a lot of things that Iaian can improve. So even if he isn't like S-Class definitively right now, I think he can get there. There's still some things that he can learn from Atomic. So yeah.
I still don't consider him S-Class, but I am consistently impressed with this guy. I think just because the clearest thing they said to us, like, an S grown from there, because like that last time cost him his arm. This time it's just he's bleeding and he's cost him his sword. So he's growing, and he's like, it's clear why he's A-Class rank 2, but to me he's just not S-Class yet.
Yeah, I think I agree with Matt here, where if Darkshine hadn't popped up, Iaian might be full of holes at the moment. So just because of that, and we have to remember that he's just defending at the moment. He's not attacking. He's not defending anybody else. His attention wasn't divided. I mean, granted, his sword broke, but he's literally just defending himself, and that's where the issue kind of arose, and he was about to die.
So niggas want to pretend like Atomic wasn't right there?
Well, he seemed to be pretty concerned about those shots.
But see, my whole thing with that is like we're all putting them lower S-Class, so like we're not seeing a character like Taint Top Master or Puri Prisoner go up against these guys.
Yep.
Because they also got demolished. So like him getting
Yep.
demolished isn't like that big of a deal to me because they're even the S class are out of their league with some of these monsters.
Tank Top was about to get 8 immediately. When he got into the battlefield, he almost got 8 immediately. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So maybe who's actually the bottom of the S class right now? Is it Puri?
It's Puri.
Is Tank Top?
Is it Tank Top?
I thought Puri was lower.
Yes,
I thought Puri was like rank 17 and Tank Top was 16.
I think yes, you're right. Because he got a downgrade off of Deep Sea. Yeah.
All right, yeah. So maybe he's he's supremely close to being S class, but once again, I wouldn't put him in that bracket just yet, because he does seem to be struggling, and every time he's thrown into these fights, he's doing better and better, like Matt was saying, and there'll come a time when he can at least defend himself for a longer period of time, or maybe even start attacking. But I don't think that's just yet.
All right. So, unanimously in the poll question that we asked, individuals believe that Darkshine was the star of the chapter. Even you guys here somewhat agreed with that. So, Darkshine. What a badass panel it was. He looked like Escanor, but the better version. What are your opinions on Darkshine's state right now?
Yeah, like the guy said, man, he's his dialogue shows you that he's got his confidence, he got his swagger back, and I think that's the most important thing about it, because you can be as powerful as you want to be, but if you're not in that right mindset to do what you need to do and use your powers how you need to use them, then you're going to be useless. Like Darkshine was curled up in a ball, some chapters ago, and wasn't doing anything. But he's literally shining in his chapter. See the shine, you see him gleaming. So it's like, yeah, that boy bad. So I was impressed by Darkshine, not even just because of what he was doing, just because he had that confidence that an S-class hero should have. Like, he was literally like doing the JoJo poses and shit in the chapter, flexing.
Oh, that might be the best. That's the best page of the whole chapter, without a doubt. I mean, especially just like Atomic's like little anger to the fact he's just posing.
Yeah.
I think what I like about this, to me, like before he was arrogant and now he's confident. So like, when he fought against like Bugard and Garou, to me it seemed more like arrogance now looking back on it, because he's like, hey, the 3 best heroes are King, Tatsumaki, and me, and like he seemed but now it's like confidence in his own abilities more than anything. It doesn't basically seem like he's gone like, oh, of course I can do this, I'm Darkshine. He's just like, yeah, I could do this because I'm fine now,
No, I disagree.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think he's saying so the same cocky, like, the the lines reminded me of how he was before. Like, I don't think there's an improvement here. I think he's just like, I think the entire storyline was kind of iffy in the first place. Like, of course, it was more stab. I understand what the point is. Like, he had never faced it before. He got shaken, and he had to reaffirm that he is who he is and that he can do it. But I don't get how that's supposed to make him change. Like, what is he supposed to change from that? Like, you're just supposed to, like, remember or, like, basically just steal your will. That's basically all it was. So, like, I don't, like, you would have to, like, elaborate more so on what you're saying is different for Darkshine, because I don't see it.
Well, at least for me, like, when I was reading this, like, his attitude just seems different to what it was before. Like, now he's been humbled. Like, I'm not saying, like, he's, like, fully there. To me, to say what you think about the storyline being iffy, I think the storylines are done, which is why there's still problems with it. So, like, the real question is going to be, when he next goes up against an opponent that he is starting to get outclassed by, how is he going to handle it this next time? Is he going to curl up in the ball again, or is he going to stand up and go, okay, I can do this because it's what I'm supposed to do as a hero. I want to get better, and this is the way to do it. It's just because the way I read it, I think because of how it's gone. I read it as like, okay, he's not arrogant anymore. Like he's not trying to show off when he goes there. I mean, he just naturally shows off. I'm a liar. I said like he doesn't try and show off, and then I just talked about how my favorite panel was him posing like a JoJo character. You know?
Yeah.
But I think. Sorry, go on. I'm done.
Now go ahead, finish. Okay.
No, please go.
Okay, cool. So I agree with Matt to an extent where I think the place where I differ is I still think he's cocky, but I think there is some arrogance there, which I love about Darkshine, but I think it's kind of his style of being a hero and how he sees himself as a hero has changed. So the whole point, I think, when he got his ass beat down was that he only entered fights that he knew he could win. And in this chapter, he sees Atomic Samurai struggling against someone. I'm not saying that Atomic couldn't have done anything, but Atomic seemed to be struggling somewhat, and he jumped in to help. And then he saw Bang, someone who he's on record saying Bang beat the ever-living crap out of him. He could do nothing against Bang. He saw Bang running away from a dragon class monster, and he jumped into that fight as well. So in both these situations, there's no way Darkshine knows he's gonna win, especially when Bang's running away from one of them, and he still jumps in anyway. So I think his concept of what he is as a hero has changed slightly, and he's jumping into fights where now he's comfortable knowing that maybe he might not win, but at least he can try. He can kind of be a hero and step in, whether he's protecting someone, whether he's actively trying to actually beat that monster. And I think that's what's changed about him, and that's what I like. That's the kind of confidence I see in him, rather than, you know, what he was before, where he knew he would win. He was arrogant in that way, but now he's arrogant, still that same Darkshine, still confident, still got that swagger, but he doesn't really know whether he's going to win or not.
Is Darkshine the strongest hero right now that's on the battlefield?
No, because Bang is there. No, because Bomb is there. Well, Bomb's not a hero, so I guess it would be Bang.
No, I would consider him a hero right now, or on our side.
Yeah, he's So it would be Bomb right now, because I can't say like obviously it would be Tatsumaki, but she's just kind of fumes.
This nigga said 3 different names and none of them were Atomic.
Wait, what? You cut out for me.
Bro, I said you said 3 different names and none of them were Atomic.
Hey, what'd that tell you? I ain't forget about it. Atomic, bad boy though. You're a bad boy.
What you about
to discredit him?
Oh, bro, he'll cut Darkshine down, bro. What you about to say, Matt?
No, I was just gonna say. I mean, just on current levels, similar. Yeah. We'll see how Atomic does in the future, but I'm hoping I want to put it. I really do want to put him up there. I just want to see him get some more victories now. You know.
Atomic or Darkshine? Atomic or Darkshine?
Both, hopefully. Both of them equally together as friends. That's my answer.
I think what I like about Atomic is when he beats his opponents, it's always like an overwhelming victory. Like there was no chance of the opponents that he beat. Like it's just like my favorite shit is still the Rhino Wrestler shit. When he gave him the points, I think he was like 100 points, and he just chopped them into 1,000 pieces.
Shit. I mean, because it's clear, like, what happened here. Like, the increasing power of Evernatural Water's jets were nothing to Darkshine's durability.
Oop.
And then, even when attacking, like, it didn't even seem like it was a super strong attack. You get the JoJo pose, like Matt mentioned. Get the stars. He even has like the little quote right there too, bro. He looks just like Jonathan, bro. But
What?
out of the strongest cadres, who can beat Darkshine?
Oh, beat.
Including Goketsu, including EC, including Phoenix, including Psychos.
I think he would have the most difficulty with psychics. It's just like we don't know the limit of his durability. It doesn't seem like Garou did like all that shit he did to him, and all it really did was shake his confidence. So I don't know who could like hurt him, like really hurt him.
Question. So home with Darkshine in his current state being extra shiny, would the energy of Homeless Emperor just kind of really just like ricochet everywhere from the shine?
This nigga,
Yeah.
Matt hates his
Darkshine
blood,
becomes a
man.
disco ball.
Disco ball. I don't even know how to answer that question. But like seriously speaking, like just from
If there's not an answer, that's fine. It just popped into my head. I don't think there's an answer to this.
you said out of the cadres, those I don't know, man. I don't.
You don't think Darkshine can beat Elder Centipede?
I don't. But that's the thing. I don't know if it's not a matter of like.
That
Like
might be more of a stalemate because, like, I don't think they really have a way to properly harm each other.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. That's my whole thing. Like, I don't know who could like take him out.
EC.
I don't know. Based on Darkshine's durability, like I feel like you might like destroy everything around him, but he'll just still be standing there like, hey,
Bro, nothing Darkshine has shown, including a double bazooka and a single bazooka, is strong enough to do anything to EC. We've seen EC literally like slam through the ground and just make complete tunnels in his path. I don't think it's crazy to say that like he could hit Darkshine from above and then just drag him to the depths of hell. Just meters low, lower and lower and lower and lower until he is dead. Give him the Phoenix Man treatment with the giant fist strike. That's all it was. John Emperor just slammed him into the ground forever. Do the same thing to Darkshine and he's done.
But Phoenix Man didn't have the same defense as that Darkshine does. Darkshine's like crazy defenses.
Yeah, bro, I didn't say Brave Giant was going to do it. I said EC.
Still, though, you know, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, Garou's one of the hardest hitters in the series, and like Sasuke said, he didn't even really harm him that much. Like, he harmed him a little, but like, it was his confidence that got shaken more than anything.
But what does the stalemate consist of? What are you going to sit there like just like playing patty cake? Because I don't think he can break his armor. And then,
well, now you've thrown the patty cake option out the window. I guess I have to come up with a different answer.
I mean, you can. I mean, if you say you think he can break his armor, that's you. That's it.
It's just to me, like, I know he's got like crazy. I know he can obviously do a lot of damage because of his size, but to me, like, I don't think he's got a solid way for Darkshine to consistently hurt Darkshine or to consistently hit him apart from his size. Whereas Darkshine, I think, is the opposite, where like it's the same. It's I don't think he's got a way to really hurt Elder Centipede. That's why I say it's a stalemate, because I just think they're two immovable objects in that sense. They're both specialized. They both got really good defense.
He cut him in half with his pincers.
There we go. That's all it was. Yeah.
Ain't Goketsu?
that should be a good fight. I would like to see that. Just see how that goes. It would just be funny to see Goketsu like try to punch someone who's that much smaller than him.
He did it to Suryu. You remember the Suryu fight, bro?
Yeah, he got fucked up.
Satsuki loved it. He loved that bit.
I'm talking about like people like they consistently throwing hands.
Yeah, Darkshine would definitely take quite a few punches from Goketsu. But Goketsu still got the cannons on him, bro. That was a casual punch he did to Bakuzan.
I would love to see like the whole 3 seconds bit with Darkshine just for it to do nothing to him.
Get up, 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3, get up.
Like, okay, I'm up. What now?
Yo, he did get up fast as hell, bro. When Garou was staring at him or hesitated, he just flipped back up. Gave him a nice little JoJo pose. That's when, like, this is, bro, like, I don't mean to be disrespectful. What I'm about to say next is incredibly disrespectful. Like, the amount of disrespect is enormous. Like, unfathomable.
I don't mean to be disrespectful. I'm gonna be really disrespectful.
Like
so you do.
Like, real disrespectful. Go high key. Darkshine pussy for having Garou match his strength. Simply put like
All
that.
right.
Simply put like that. Simply put.
Okay.
Like, there was absolutely no implication that the behemoth that is Darkshine, that as right now we're discussing, we don't even know if I've heard niggas say he'll survive the meteor bit. I've heard niggas say he'll survive the meteor, bro. That's how deep these people can throw Darkshine, bro. So
I mean, he has a. Never mind.
do you hear this? He was about to be like, I can go that deep. Sasuke was about to be like, I can go that deep.
I was not going to say that. I was not going to say that.
I mean, the question is, you don't think he'd survive the meteor?
Damn. Is this the nigga who said Phoenix Man was dead?
Hey, he's got like 3 different storylines now. I don't know which one we're talking about.
He's like
dead in one of them.
He's like, Phoenix Man is trash. Are we still talking about how Phoenix Man is ass? Oh shit. Nah.
No comment.
I mean, he's below Wolf now, Sundown, so if you want to take any kind of victory, now's the time.
Yeah. What Matt said, man.
Alright, so I'm not trying to downplay Darkshine or whatever, but yeah, I definitely don't think I'm satisfied with him like just coming in here being unconfident right now. It definitely shines the light, or it's a step in the right direction for sure, but it's as Matt said, when we see him fight an individual who's stronger than him head on and be faced with that fear again, that's when we'll know who Darkshine really is. But
yeah,
the other menace of the chapter, the individual who I believe, I never actually really checked the chart. I don't know if Black Sperm is actually winning, but at least on the monster side, this guy was a heathen, a monster, a demon, a diabolical problem, a dilemma,
Keep him going.
a conflict. Come on, give me some more synonyms.
Bad guy.
that nigga raw.
A rotter, right mean old stinker.
The scourge of the earth.
An amateur dancer.
The anti-good. He who stops, or he who is alive.
He who stops. Definitely not the name of Grimm.
The man who stops. There we go.
Yeah, like old boy Black Sperm, bro. Like, there's a lot to be said about this individual in this chapter.
Oh, for real?
Oh, I thought we were talking about Genos.
Look out of here, right? All right, so Black Sperm. First, let's point out he was casual the entire time. The entire time, smiling and going casual. The problem is you don't know when he's going hard. You don't know. Like, even when he was fighting Atomic Samurai, he had a bunch of sperms in the bag, dancing around, playing around. Even while Darkshine was popping and Bang was popping, you saw sperms in the background skipping and hopping and shit, like with smiles on their faces. Like, this is sick. And when we started the podcast, if you noticed, Sasuke mentioned that we don't really have a way of beating Black Sperm. And I was peculiar when I first heard it because Atomic Samurai in this chapter seems to have at least made some progress. But no, all he did was say he's going to beat him to death. There is no problem for Black Sperm. Or excuse me, there is no solution for Black Sperm. All they're doing, the more they defend, the more they protect Tatsumaki and Tank Top as Bang and Genos run along, the more his army grows. Every single strike. So, this entire scenario, the entire sequence here of Black Sperm, how did you guys feel when you read it?
The same thing I felt when he had his fight with Atomic in that Focus chapter. It's just Black Sperm's powers just to grow exponentially, and there's still no, like you said, there's no solution for it. And that's proven by the fact that he was able to fight against all these S-class heroes, still growing in power. They still have not found a way to really deal with him. Like Atomic said, you know, I'm going to beat you. And sure, that can like hurt him, but that's still not dealing with the issue of killing him. So, and the fact that what's really crazy about Black Sperm's power is he can split himself. It'll be a different case if like you had to cut him or something like that, and then he splits. He's doing it himself. So, at any given moment, he can just surround you and just clobber you with pure numbers. So he's just scary because he's an army of one that can turn into an army of 1,000 or an army of 100,000 or an army of 1 billion. He has that strength, or I guess ability.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you first, like when I first read this chapter, I was like, okay, they've actually got something to do against him because Bang, Atomic, Darkshine, they were all landing hits on him. You know, they were all actually like destroying them, which we hadn't seen yet. So I was like, okay, so they can actually hurt this guy. But then, as we've realized, as we talked about, it's not that simple. You know, like ultimately, there isn't like we're slowing them down, but we don't know how many he can create. I mean, even Tatsumaki, who pretty much telekinesis has worked on everyone. You know, she goes to freeze them, and all he does is he creates clones just to jump out of it. So those clones are still there, but he's still going on the attack. Like he's a monster, you know?
That was such a creative way to get out of that attack too.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah, when I saw that, I didn't clock it the first time. Then I read it again. I was like, oh damn, that's what he did. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, in terms of how I felt about it, pretty much the same every time we've seen Black Sperm. I just wonder why he ever let someone like Orochi lead him, and you know, was there a threat that was made? Was there an intention he had where he was like, yeah, I'll achieve this goal, and while I'm trying to achieve that goal, I'll let you lead. I mean, he doesn't seem like the type of person from what we've seen to enjoy being beneath somebody else. I mean, like, how does this chapter end? You're looking down on me again? Is that what he says? And he said that to Atomic as well the last time. So I just want to understand why he was ever a part of the association and not leading the association. There has to be some sort of weakness he has where that was exploited, or maybe Psychos cater towards his more logical side. He doesn't seem like a person or a monster who has a logical side, as in someone who could be convinced. But I don't know. We haven't seen enough from him yet where I could determine that completely. But he's just really, really dangerous.
I think just to answer what you said about that Sundown, I think what it is with him is he's strong, but he's not stupid. In the sense of like, if he sees a potential threat, he'll make sure he can beat them before he does beat them. I say that because like when he first, that's the reason I guess he joined the Monster Association, because when he first time we ever see him is he questions what Orochi and Psychos are doing, and then he eventually backs down. But then what we see from like Homeless Emperor as well, when he sees him in action, like Wally's thinking in the background, he's like, okay, so he does this, he does that, but apart from that, he's still a normal person. So from what I would guess, the reason he joined the association was because he saw Orochi was powerful, but he was like, okay, if I watch him, I can learn how to beat him, and I'll just beat him and take over.
Yeah, that's a good point in terms of learning the the other monster's weaknesses. The only thing I question there is it's good for him to learn the weaknesses because then he can figure out the most optimal way to destroy the other monsters. But if you're infallible yourself, then you could almost figure that out on the fly, which is where I'm starting to consider. Well, he must know how someone could beat him. He must know his own weakness, and it must be something pretty glaring if he's going into associations and things like that, figuring out other people's weaknesses before thinking about attacking them.
That may be the case. I mean, we just saw it happen there. So, in his analysis to Homa, so maybe, but no, I definitely agree with everything that's been said so far. Like, I've been harping about like the dangerousness of black sperm this entire time. That like, it's really not that casual, and this chapter actually confirms what I've been saying as well. That no, not any other hero would body black sperm. Y'all niggas are creditless as hell. Like, we've just seen Darkshine and Genos and Bang all fail and continue to multiply black sperms. In every single instance that they did, more sperms popped up. Bang hit him, and then more popped out. Darkshine hit him, and then more popped out. Genos blasted him, and then more popped out. Like, it's, you see him, you're seeing, wee, like, one is like, literally one is waving. There's a black sperm waving, breaking the fourth wall and waving at us, bruh. Like, so
I honestly don't know who steps in to take them down. If there's any one person to do it.
Do you think this guy, because I've always wanted this because of how he's always been drawn super simple as well, and Tatsumaki is not in any shape, just to go back to it, do you think this guy is the person for Saitama to take down? Or do you think anyone out of the squad could actually do this?
He might have to be, honestly. He's looking like from what everybody's been trying to do to him is looking like we got to call in S-Man.
Either that or this could be Garou's entrance as well.
Yeah. I mean, that would be the most disgusting entrance if he came in, if Garou came in and completely ended Black Sperm. That would be shocking to say the least, and I'd be like, damn, what an introduction to make. But I would be a little bit annoyed if this was a Saitama fight, because I feel like the whole build up for Saitama, like you guys were saying earlier, is the Garou fight. You know, Garou comes in, bodies someone, bodies probably a whole bunch of people, and then Saitama has to come and finish the job. That seems to be the way things are going. But if Saitama got the two best in this arc, both Black Sperm and Garou, it would kind of make everybody else seem like a little bit useless. So I'm not too sure.
He's killed the rest of them, every single one. I don't know if y'all niggas been paying attention. That's why I called him a dirty piece of shit. The bait of the earth. Bruh, somebody smack this man. Get him some poon poon so he won't be out here just bothering people, bro.
Wait, kill the rest of them in...
Goketsu.
Oh, yeah, in this arc, okay.
Elder Centipede. Was about to body Neon. Did that thing to Rover. Orochi.
Okay.
Leave him alone, bruh.
Grimm, I understand that your boy did a lot this chapter, and that's fine. So I get you're a bit hyped up. So I'll let that slide. What you just said, that's fine.
What did I say?
Just bad mouthing Saitama. Let's just leave him alone.
And to be fair, out of those ones you mentioned who he killed, Orochi came back, Rover's still alive, Nyan's still alive. Who else did you mention? Goketsu, yeah, he's pretty dead. Elder Centipede, pretty dead.
If Goketsu comes back like a headless horseman thing.
That would be pretty good. Goketsu just comes in riding on Elder Centipede.
Oh, yes!
But yeah, so like out of those, however many you mentioned, a few of them are still alive, and the only two which are dead, I think, are Elder Centipede.
Are the strongest?
And Goketsu. Sorry?
The strongest besides Orochi?
Elder Centipede?
Never mind, let me not say
I mean,
that.
the ones who are alive,
Rover.
they fought.
Yeah, Rover.
Yeah, there you go, Rover. Yeah.
You got it. Look, bro, all I'm saying is that fuck Kate Baldy, bro.
Damn.
Nobody else.
Okay, sure. Okay.
Not-
I just want to remember that because there'll be a moment where I want you to remember when Atomic Samurai backhanded his handshake and said, "Talk to me when you're an S class." Let's remember that. Let's remember that for the future.
Matt's got all the receipts. You done, Graham?
Look, bro. All I'm saying is that in order to maintain the integrity, the level of honor, the prestige that Murata and one himself have bestowed upon Atomic, he has to beat Black Sperm. With this chapter, literally confirmed it, bro. It literally confirmed it. Go ahead.
Just going to ask you this, so that's fine. Yeah, because like, do you think? Yeah, so you think Atomic's going to beat Black Sperm?
No, I can't say that. I don't know if he's gonna. I don't know. I honestly don't know that.
I'm not,
saying
okay,
that.
so not on his own, but do you think he's? I'm not saying that like as like to bait you to go or anything like that. Genuinely, I'm just curious because obviously, like, he's got a way to fight him now. We've seen this. Like, I just genuinely wonder: do you think he can actually beat him at this point? Now he's got a genuine way to hurt him.
I'm saying that the story seems to be leading to where he might not be able to do it. But the thing is that, like, I'm saying in order for Atomic Samurai to maintain, like, the same honor that he has right now, like the same standing that he has right now, is like all the heroes pretty much they have it. He's like his loss against Black Sperm wasn't as bad as like Darkshine's loss, or wasn't as bad as what happened to Amai, wasn't as bad. Even Pig God wasn't as bad either. Like Pig God was like, he was kind of in there the entire time. He wasn't really like out of the fight. But Zombie Man, he got that thing done to him. Like Amai literally was crying and calling for help and stuff. Like Atomic got beat, but he was in the fight the entire time. Like Darkshine was like humiliated. There was after effects of the fight. Like that's why their losses were like more tragic. But like Atomic Samurai still has a chance to like redeem himself without like much of tarnishing his name. Like this is even proof as to why like his loss or his stalemate or however you want to see it up against Black Sperm initially wasn't that bad, because now all the heroes are seeing what he had to deal with. Like sure, Tank Top got like mutilated, like pumped, like laid out, like rectally by Fear, but Bang came in and did that thing to Fear and Gums at the same time. Like he did that thing to him. Even Genos, depleted Genos came in and also came and made a difference a little bit. So like it's not like Ambai's opponents or Pig God's opponents were like devastating for the entire team. They put in work, don't get me wrong, but they were devastating for the entire team. But my boy Sperm?
That's just a clip on its own right there.
He knew what he was saying.
The only person who can beat Black Sperm, or excuse me, the only person who should beat Black Sperm is Atomic Samurai, for Atomic Samurai's sake. But for the sake of the storyline, bruh. Black Sperm for the body niggas, bro. He has to body niggas, bro. We have to get an entire, like, bruh. I wouldn't even be mad if, like, Black Sperm splits up all the heroes and fights them 1v1, bro. Or, excuse me, 1,000 versus 1,000 v1 every single time, bro. Just 1v1,000, 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 bro. Just beats all their ass. And then Saitama has to come through and just save niggas 1v1. Just come here. Fing, 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 fing. And then it may take longer to save Atomic. And then in that time period, Atomic manages to actually beat Black Sperm, or the group of 10,000 Black Sperm that he managed to create. My fault, dog. On his own, instead of the rest of the heroes who don't do it. I would be satisfied with that. That'd be badass too. I don't think it's gonna go to that, because then when is Garou finna come back, bruh? When is Metalbat finna slide through and help, bitch? When is Rover finna show up, dog? You still got niggas coming through, bitch. So there's a bunch of shit, bro. That's why, like I said, Atomic has to beat Black Sperm for his own, for himself. He has to do it on his own in order to have his character not lose value. But aside from that, Black Sperm is about to run through these niggas and diligently.
I would add. Sorry, no, go, Sundar. Go on. No, go.
No, I was just gonna make a joke.
Make the joke.
I was going to say, it almost sounded like Grimm needed Atomic to win for himself and not for Atomic. He's begging, he's like, please, Atomic! Y'all need to win!
I was going to say quickly, I mean, by all means, he could probably just do the Atomic Slash, but now he's got the back of the blade as well. It's pretty much the same thing, right? So he could just quite quickly go for a few of them.
Yeah, the thing is with Black Sperm, because I swear he mentioned while they were still underground that even blunt force attacks couldn't really do much to him. But it just stops him from splitting, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, well,
Yep.
what I'm reading here is like, I can just beat you to death. Like, those, I mean, like, from what we've seen, like, I mean, Blunt Force does a certain amount because we've seen what Darkshine and Bang did to him. Like, they made those guys explode. And so it's like, Blunt Force definitely works, obviously, miles better than like, a slash or against a weapon. But at least, yeah.
Metal bat?
He could, genuinely. If there's like a big one, they're all grouped up together. He shows up for the surprise attack and just does like a dragon thrash on them.
Metal Bat gives his baseball bat to Atomic Samurai.
I forgot all about Metal Bat.
No, I mean, if Metal Bat shows up, like, Metal Bat to do that thing to Black Sperm.
Shit.
It would genuinely, it would have to. He'd have to have an opening for him. That's all it'd be, because Metal Bat's still in bad like condition, you know. So,
bro, that's even better.
Yeah, so no, that'd be the thing. Someone would have to create an opening for him, distract. Then Metal Bat comes in for the attack and just smashes whoever he goes up against. I'm fine with that.
No. I meant like the fact that he's injured means that like once you hit him one time and it hurts, he'll super shoot up in strength. But like it won't be the regular Zenkai, it'll be a super duper Zenkai, and then he'll be like above Dragon right away. They're like it's a whole army of Sperm. Like you pop one, or it'll be a whole army. 10,000 will come and I'll punch him 10,000 times, and then he'll become 10,000 times stronger.
That's the laugh of the sane for definitely.
That's how it works, man.
Nah, I want to see there's that one scene in One Piece where Zoro uses Usopp as a sword. I want to see Atomic use Darkshine as a sword. That would be the ultimate blunt force trauma, and Black Sperm would get clapped.
Nigga said, "All right, it's time to end the podcast." And nigga just
No, that's it. The Vanta Atomic Slash. There you go. Vanta Black Atomic Slash. The Black Hole Slash.
Oh yeah, okay, we got the name down. This is all good.
All right, let me see. It looks like pretty much.
Just quickly, you had a theory about Child Emperor.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Child Emperor's return. It was just about Child Emperor coming back for even natural water. And somebody mentioned in Discord that Brave Giant 2.0 might be a thing.
What was this?
Are you like drinking evil natural water right now? Because that's what it sounds.
Whoa, bro. Drinking? Whoa, man. We don't do that here.
Yeah, we've never had someone drinking on the podcast.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Well, it looks like with the chapter ending with Black Sperm looking up at Darkshine. Looks like we're gonna get a nice fight in the beginning of the next installment for 146. You've heard our opinions about 145, the stars of the chapter. We have 1 or 2 poll questions up regarding this chapter, so make sure you check that out on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel so you can get more content as it goes along, as we get the next chapters, and you can be here on time for the next One Punch Man podcast. Check the description for all of our channels, where we have a source of content for every single day. Every single day, Matt drops content. You can get a clip of all his stuff. Check that out. So does Sundown every single day as well. So check out their channels. Links in the description. And I think that's about it, man. I mean, I was gonna make a joke about Black Sperm, but Yo!